The common stereotype surrounding people living with disabilities is usually associated with them being cursed, diseased, dependent, and even a burden. But with the dawn of the 21st century, these special people are getting high end jobs, they are living their lives to the fullest, and even finding love. This is Dating with Disabilities.
Hi there, welcome to the Just a Clock, a podcast that's all about connecting you through stories, shared experiences, and a whole lot of amebo. Get your headphones on, grab a cup of your favorite drink. If it's your first time here, you're welcome. And for returning listeners, welcome back.
Now stay tuned for the juiciest gist you won't find anywhere. Let's begin.
You're tuned in to the Just a Clock podcast. My name is Jess, the host with the most, and I have a very special guest, a very close friend of mine, Somi, the bad guy. Hi, Somi. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You have to speak up, or don't give us your deep voice, please. What's that? How you doing?
I'm fine, my dear.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for gracing the podcast.
Yeah, it's fine.
All
It's
right. Okay, so Somi, let's just get into it
fine.
already.
Okay.
How long have you had this disability?
Since I was born.
Are you serious?
Yeah, since I was born, I started all my life I've been like that, basically.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know any other experience, essentially.
This
Yeah.
is how you were born.
Yes.
Okay, and I believe growing up, you must have had a lot of challenges as a child, as a teenager, and then an adult. Would you care to share?
Um I think the basic one has always been people looking at you somehow, as if something is wrong somewhere. I remember telling my friend one time that I don't these days I don't mind people looking at me because I've already gotten used to it. And then of course is the fact that many people would look at you as if you can't do certain things.
By yourself?
Yes, you can't do certain things. Recently I went to the bank, and when entering, a lot of people were like, "Do you need help? Do you need help to climb staircase? Do you need help to come out of the keke? Do you need help?" And I understand. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but that idea, and there is this particular one too. When I was in secondary school,
Yeah.
many, especially during the time I came in newly, many of my teachers were worried that I couldn't keep up academically, and I was like, something, whatever happened, is located in my legs. There is
Not
no
not
way
to
it's
your brain.
affecting my brain at all.
True.
So then I think that's it. That's it.
Okay.
Essentially the idea that there are certain things you cannot do, and of course there are certain things I can't do, obviously, but it's exaggerated to the extreme. It's exaggerated to the extreme. Sometimes even my mom, if I'm trying to go, she'll be like, "Should I follow you? Should your sister follow you?
Did she
Should
help
your..."
out?
I understand, but then I'm like, I'm an adult. I've been in school. I've done so many things. When I was in school, you're not the one taking
True.
me to and fro and all that. So I think that's essentially it.
Okay. So you obviously attended university, you're a
Mm-hmm.
graduate. Could you share your experience? Because a lot of people who went to universities have different stories to tell. But how did you pivot through that journey?
Okay, first things first, when I got admission, my parents were very worried.
Worried.
Very, very
Not
worried.
excited.
Yeah, they were. They were excited, yeah, but the worry was in equal measure. And I understood because before then, I'd never lived without my parents or my family in any way. All right.
Yeah.
Even when I traveled to the village, anywhere,
They were always with
there were
you.
always people there. So my parents were worried, particularly my mom. She was very, very worried. And I think their main worry was, how would I cope? How would I stay on my own? It got to the point, okay, there was this friend of mine who was also seeking admission there. So what we decided was that he was going to come with me and
Okay.
stay in our car, and then,
So
while processing
he's going to be like looking after you in
in
words.
a way, yes.
Yeah.
But then I knew that it was only a matter of time before everything I would be on my own, essentially.
Yeah.
So my dad had to specially come and look for the lodge himself. When I wrote my posyomi, he came with me, stayed till the end. Even when I wrote my jam, I remember now when
He
I wrote,
followed
he
you.
followed me. The only thing was, okay, during jam, after he dropped me, he left, and he dropped this small phone with one of the invigilators. So after I called him, and so the story is too long, but he came for the lodge, and then before my brother came to live with me, every Sunday my mom would come.
Are you serious?
Every single Sunday, because it didn't help that the friend I was staying with at
Yeah.
the time, he didn't really know how to cook, and I don't know how to cook at all.
So
So
hunger go wipe all over that.
exactly every Sunday my
Your
mom would
mom came.
call. Every Sunday, I think from my year one till the ending of year two. Yeah, that as far as I can remember, my mom came every single Sunday. Every single Sunday. Of course, with a few exceptions, but those were there must have been something that happened.
Yeah, that's
Apart from it, and then of course they had to find special keke for me.
of course, yeah, for you to be able to move
Yes,
around.
and so many other things. So many other things. At some point, my dad was like, should he get the contact of some of my lecturers to be watching out for me? I was like, it's
Ah,
too
come
much.
on.
Let me live on my own for a while. Let me
Yeah.
live life on my own. Let me do things my own. Yeah, I think that was it.
So let's enter your love life. So me, do you have babe?
Of course, I have a girlfriend.
He has babe, but you are single. Okay. So could you share a bit on your love story?
Ah,
Wait. How long?
um, 3 years.
You that you're looking at me. I mean, do you have 3 years? Do you have 3 years relationship?
Yeah,
More. Okay, please share. I love love
it's
stories.
actually been 3 years and 1 month. Yeah, on
Aww.
February 14th. Yeah, how did we meet? Funny enough, one of the wildest love stories I've ever come across. One of the wildest love stories I've ever come across because um I saw her on her friend's WhatsApp status, right? It was her birthday. So I was like, okay, this guy is fine. Like, can I have a number? Her friend was like, no. I think they said she was dating them or so.
Okay, she was in a relationship at the time.
Yes. I was like, I like your friend.
So me, you collect person, babe.
I did not collect anybody's.
Ah, you s- you knew she was in a relationship,
I said, I like your friend. I did not say break the relationship.
but you.
I did not say that. What I said is, I like your friend. Let me tell her that I like her.
So what will she use it to do?
Knowledge now. I mean, someone likes you. Someone thinks you're fine. What's wrong with that?
Carry on.
So that was on 24th December,
Okay.
right? Our birthday is on the 24th. So on the 26th, I think her friend now gave me the number. I don't even know what they discussed. And then from there we started talking and gisting. And she's actually amazing. I'm not going to lie. Amazing. I keep saying that she's amazing. And I think about 4 or 5 days into us talking to the whole talking stage, I told her, see, oh, there's something I have to tell you. And she was like, okay, what's it? I use crutches. She was like, okay, why are you telling me so? I'm like, so that no one will say that I can switch that
Yeah.
later on. I like saying it one time, like that. So from there, we continued. Then in January next year, 2022, we started dating, and we've been dating since.
So me, wait. Was she in a relationship at the time?
No, they broke up.
Or they broke up
Hmm.
because of you? This is your cue to go and snatch that babe in that relationship.
I did not snatch anybody's babe.
You snatched the
I did not
babe.
snatch anybody's babe. The guy broke up with her. I was like, okay, what are we waiting for?
Oh yeah, now.
What are we waiting for?
So don't let any relationship stop you, Abby.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. So quick question.
Mm.
And after you got into school, your parents had already helped you settle down. How did you work in university? Because as I am, as I was then,
Mm.
I saw shege in capital letters. What more? How much more you
Mm.
who have has found it very difficult to survive without your parents, and yet they still helped you settle. So how were you able to go to classes? How were you able to attend lectures, exams, night classes? You had friends. Please gist me the whole story,
Okay.
please.
First things first, for going to school, I think what I did was know my schedule, right?
Yeah,
Then I would call my keke guy. We used to call him Saint Man. I would call Saint Man back then and tell him, okay, I'm going to school tomorrow by this time. He would come. Sometimes he would come late.
yeah.
But at some point I said, okay, if I have lecture by 8, I'll tell him that I have lecture by 7,
So
so
you'd
that
come on time.
he will come on time, essentially. And then whenever I'm an early bird, so whenever I come to class, sometimes if the lecture hall is open, I will enter and sit in
And
front.
sit and wait.
But especially in year one, there were some classes you can't really.
GS.
GS is one of them. I don't think I attended up to 3 GS classes.
How did you
I
pass?
read,
Obviously.
I read, and I don't think I attended up to 3 GS classes.
Yeah.
And then physics classes, chemistry, maths, those were all these general courses. So there
Yeah.
were tons of people. There was no way I could hustle for the seat because if I'm telling, if I tell you how it was, imagine most of the time the labs were closed till the lecture time, all
Mhm.
right? So there was no way you could file in and go into the class and all that. You had to wait for the lecturer. And once the lecturer comes, it's like this everywhere, right?
And you would be in danger of being.
I did not even try it. I would wait. I would just sit. I had a very close friend then. Sometimes she would be lucky and she would find seat. I would come in much later after everybody
As
had
they've
gone in.
gone in. Yeah.
Then if there was no seat, I would just sit outside or go home. Yeah, especially for my year one and year two. It was year three now I started attending lectures very well because mostly departmental courses and all the lecturers in department knew me. There were fewer people. I could find seats and all that. Then for exams, I don't think I really had problems because one was it was mostly my classmates.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the same thing, everybody would go in. I would be the last person to go in. But the only disadvantage was that I would sit in front because everybody would be hustling and go to the
To
back.
the back
I
and do
would
their
be
formation.
exactly. I never knew a lot of people after school. A lot of people were like formation, formation. Even people that were years after me in class, they would be like, okay, they did this in the department. They looked at other people. I'll be like, you guys did this. How is that possible? Because see my seat, see the lecturer.
How do you
Always,
want to cheat? How do you want to
always,
cheat? How do you want to
always.
ask?
And most of the time, I will be writing. The lecturers will be looking into my work and be gisting with me. So
There's
there
no
was
way
no
out
way. There
about
was no way
it.
out.
Very true.
And what are the so many of them? So many,
Yeah.
and then of course there were so many times I fell inside
Okay.
inside school. I still remember this one. I was walking down from the maths department towards my department. I don't even know what happened, and I felt everywhere. There was this. It was as if those times in movies where something happened
And
and
everybody
everybody.
gathers.
It was as if no one was breathing. They were just watching. I was like, "Oh my, this is nothing new." Everybody watched. How are you? How are you? This. Even the other day, last Sunday in church, I felt.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt, and the same reaction. Everybody was. I was like,
They're trying to show they
no,
care.
I understand, but
Yeah.
to me, it's
It's a
part of
little
the
too much.
experience. It's part of the experience. If I go one full year and I don't fall, I'll be like, "So what happened?"
Ah.
Exactly.
So falling down it's not a new thing to
It's
you.
not. It's not at all. It's
Okay.
not. The staring mostly from children. The children. Sometimes there's a child will be like, I think 2 Sundays ago I went to church. I because as I said, I like going to church on time. So
So you
if
can sit early.
yes, and then of course, just nature, just upbringing. So I will go for 10 o'clock mass by 8:30.
Okay.
So I will just sit outside, maybe pressing my phone or doing something. Then this child, I was pressing my phone. He just came, touched me. I looked up. I was surprised. It was like, I,
Why did he wave?
it was not waving. He was telling me sorry.
Oh, that you were hot or
I don't
something.
know. Obviously saw me on my
Yes.
crutches and everything. So these are the few of them. It's just been so funny. Just been
Wow.
so funny. So funny. It
Okay.
doesn't mean that it's a walk in the park. Obviously not.
Yeah.
There have been very very dark times. Very 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 dark times.
So we see a lot of special people
Mm.
in the streets. What makes you different? Generational wealth. I mean, your daddy go.
I wish my parents had that generational wealth. You guys would know. But I think one was the fact that my parents, I owe everything to them. I owe everything to them. My dad especially. My dad, he sacrificed a lot. He did a lot, right? And then of course my mom, both of them. If I'm my aunt dad did his own, my mom did her own. But my dad, especially my primary school days when I was still trying to understand and formulate who I am, so to speak. I was still very new to this whole thing. Let's say that my dad would always come to school. Sometimes he would find a bike, right? Or okay, even if I found a bike or my brother found a bike and we went to school, sometimes he would bring me lunch, especially when we had lessons. Sometimes he would be the one
Yeah.
after school, he would be the one to come and pick
Pick
me
you
and
up.
then go back to work.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he really did a lot. To the point, even in my secondary school, during my secondary school days, to the point that some people, especially in my secondary school, some of my teachers didn't know my mom was alive.
Because your dad was always
My
there.
dad was always the one. My dad was always there. My dad was always there, right? And and I think part of what made me so confident and sure was the fact that there was never, except for the obvious, there was never anything my parents didn't make me believe I could do, right? And it also helped that I was very, very brilliant. So the fact that I was topping my class was an extra boost to me. I mean, what else can you tell me? What else can you do? Come to the class, let's sort it out in the exam hall, right? That really helped. And my parents, my brother, my sister, they all stood up for me, right? Especially my brother. My brother can go to war for me, literally, right? There was a time, I think it was my primary three or so. Someone insulting. I've forgotten what they said. I can't remember. I can't remember.
He's like your older brother, yeah?
No, my younger brother.
Your younger brother.
Yeah.
Wait. You have a younger brother and an older sister.
No, I'm the eldest.
You are the eldest. You are the Diokpara.
Yes. Yes. So my younger brother, I can't remember what was
What the
said,
person is.
but my brother heard it. The next thing was that your brother is fighting, and I was like, "What
You went
happened?"
to fight.
I didn't even know. The worst part was that I didn't know what happened, what they said. Just that I think the person said it to my brother's hearing, and my brother was fighting, something like that. Then obviously, after I asked him what happened, he was like, "Oh my, there was something he said about it and all that." And my sister, the same thing. My sister, my dad, my mom, everybody, they're very fiercely protective of me. Fiercely. If I go out like this, my mom will be like, "When are you coming back? This, that." There was a time during the time I was processing my NYSC, my dad was like, "Okay, go to this place," because first of all, my first posting was to Adamawa. I was like, "It's not me and you."
Adamawake.
I'm telling you. My first posting was to Adamawa.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way in a
You can't
million
even go
years.
to Adamawa.
I didn't, where I went to school in Onitsha. my everybody in my set was a boarding student except me because of this.
Yeah.
And you're expecting me to go to
Go to
Adamawa.
Adamawa,
It's not
okay.
possible.
Yeah.
So I allowed that particular batch of this stream to go. Then the next one I was like, look, I'm going to do something about it. The person my dad contacted to work it, he was like, oh, he's no longer working in that department. I'll be waiting.
Well, you can't go to Adamawa now.
Exactly. So I had to do it myself. Uh, Someone advised us to go to the secretariat at Nibo,
Okay.
right? And that time I was not staying with my younger brother in school. My dad was like, you and your brother should go. My brother had lectures. So I just entered Keke.
You went by yourself to NYSC Secretariat.
Yes, nah, I went, I think I used bus. Then I went with bus, then I stopped and entered Keke. That time I was not as big as this. I could.
Wait, so you were entering public transport with your
Yes, nah.
crutches. Amazing.
Yes, nah. So I went, right? And when I was coming back, because you can't get bus directly from Nibo
Yeah, you
to
have to
Ekoka,
cut and
you have to.
cross.
I entered Keke first to Ekoka, and then entered bus to Fite. Right. So when I was in the Keke from Nibo to Ekoka, my dad called me. He was like, "Nah, are you done?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm done." He was like, "Give your brother the phone." I was like, "He's not here. He went to school." He was very surprised. He was not angry. He was pleasantly surprised. He was like, "You went to where?" I said,
You
"Yes,
went
now.
alone.
Have I
Yeah.
not been? Did I not go to school for 4 years by myself?"
You went alone.
Yeah,
He's trying to wrap his head around that.
exactly. And so experiences like that obviously have made me believe I'm different, right? And I'm not saying that I'm better than those people out on the streets. No, of course, it's just circumstance that made my story different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, oh, because I did this, because I did that, why are you not doing this? Because I mean, it could have been different.
Yeah, it could
Exactly,
have.
could have been different. That's how I can
Thank you
explain
so
it.
much, Sumi. Would you date a disabled lady, or have you had any shenanigans with a disabled lady before?
That's a very tough one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. That's a very, very tough one. And my answer might sound somehow, but I'm not sure I would.
Okay, you're not sure you would. Could you
Yeah.
give us a why?
Okay. Why? Because it depends. Okay, let me say it depends on the nature of disability, right? If it's something similar to mine, it's not going to work because
Yeah.
I mean, who is going to help the other
Yeah,
person, right?
you both need help. So.
Exactly, exactly. Unless we are so rich that we can hire helps, right? Well, apart from that, auditory or whatever else, no problem, no problem. I mean, it's someone that is dating me now. See?
Abby.
Yeah, man. So that's it.
All right. So any encouragement, any words to people living with disability watching you right now?
First things first is that I don't. Many people would say, "Oh, you have a disability, you have a condition." They start pitying you. This is one thing I hate: pity,
How to the
pity,
pity?
pity. Because in pitying someone, you're basically saying they can't do this on their own, they can't live on their own. And I understand they need help. I'm not denying the fact that I need help sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But my point is don't help to do or don't see that person as incapable that they cannot do anything at all. That's one. And if you have any form of disability, just understand that you are different, right? Accept it, you're different. You're not going to change that,
Yeah.
or you may not be able to change that.
Mhm.
And then two is that you once you accept it, embrace it, make it your unique branding, your unique identity. Because I think one of the things that made me so popular in secondary school was the fact that I'm like this.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like this, and I was the most brilliant. So it was a very unique combo. I mean, who is this? Who is the person that is always coming first? Somto Chuku. Can we see him? Is
Yeah.
this person? And
So
everybody is very surprised,
they are
right?
odd. Yeah.
Everybody is very surprised. I think During my SS1 prize giving day, I got um, so many prizes that some of the parents they started giving me money, and it was not part of the prizes. And I think one of the reasons was because of my
Your
condition,
condition.
right? And then of course, you there must definitely be something you're good at. Capitalize on it. And for example, with me, after my IT, which is another wild experience. After my IT, I told myself there can nothing will ever make me work in a physical office, do 9 to 5 in my life
So how
because
do you survive now?
I am a remote worker.
Really?
Yeah,
You work solely remote. And that's how
solely
you've been surviving.
all my life, all my life from 2020 that I took remote work seriously. I've been doing. I don't even if I see any work and they say space, even if it's in Oka, I'm not going to do it. That's how bad it is. I'm not going to. So I saw what I was good at that required my brain. Obviously, I cannot do physical work. And I can capitalize on it. So I think my advice is embrace it. Embrace it because there is this quote in Game of Thrones. I think Tyrion Lannister was talking to Jon Snow. He said, "Never forget who you are because the world will not." Right? And in as much as I've talked about the funny and memorable and good part of the whole experience, there have been very bad ones. Very bad ones. I'm not going to lie. Was it when someone looked at me in the face and called me a cripple? So many of them, I'm not going to lie. So many of them. And this person who said this was someone I actually had love interest
Wow.
with. All right. So, and so many of them, or was it when someone um was insulting my mom? She was like, "You're." I can't even remember what the issue was, but I think my mom called her out on something she did, and well, you're talking to me when you have a cripple at home.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so things like this,
That's awful.
it's life, right? Right? And so many of them, people are going to misunderstand you. People are going to be afraid of you. All right, people are going to be afraid of you. People are going to, you might not immediately find the kind of love you're looking for. That's fine. That's why I see it as part of life. See it as part of the things that build who you are. As I say, as I tell my friends, there's nothing someone can tell me I've not heard before. There's nothing you can tell me again I've not heard before. I think that's it. That
Wow.
that's essentially it.
Thank you so much, Sumi. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for gracing my podcast.
You're
I'm
welcome.
pretty sure you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, like, share, subscribe. I feel so touched right now. In fact, I'm going to be looking at these special people differently, not with pity, but
Mm-hmm.
with the realization that they can actually do amazing things like we do. Okay, so do that. Be better. Thank you, Sumi. I'm glad you came on my podcast.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. This is Jess signing out.